For our broadcast partner, we first go over to Matthew Pierce, who will ask the introductory questions, and then we will take questions from the floor. Good afternoon, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Rayan. Good afternoon, Siamtanda, Mzwandile.
Thanks, Matthew. Good afternoon.
I think the smile said all. And just a word on your own personal preparation for this test match, physically and mentally. We know, you've had your share of challenges. How has it been in the build-up week to this test match?
It's been good. Obviously, it was tough having tested positive for COVID, and obviously I had to follow the protocols, I had to isolate and everything. But obviously I stayed in tune with what the team was implementing, as in every meeting online and following what the team is doing and looking at all the prep for the week. And obviously I had to do all the tests and I was successful in that. And when I came into training, I felt good. I felt really good. I was fortunate enough not to have any symptoms. So it felt like I hadn't been on the team for a while.
Sierra, it's the third time in the professional era that the British and Irish Lions are playing a World Cup winning Springbok team. I know especially the Springboks of 2009, who'd won the World Cup in 2007, they saw playing this series as a massive added incentive to their careers as a whole. Do you get the sense from this group that it's another step up? And also, what does it mean to you personally to be leading your country against the Lions?
No, it's 100%. We on the same as the guys in 2007. I was speaking to John Smith last night. He was still not excited, even though he's not playing. And for us as players, we've had our challenges. Guys had long injuries. They had to work hard to come back here. And that's all we've been speaking about. Some of us will never get this opportunity again. It's rare, a guy like France and Morne who have it for the second time. But we know most of us here will never get this opportunity again. So we're giving all we can, and guys that are not playing as well, they're putting in input because they want us to be successful, and we want to win this thing. So that's the mindset for us. We'll give it everything we can to make sure that we get the result that we want.
And Sia, just a last question for you before I ask one of Stocker. Just on the back row selection, obviously Kwacha and Dwayne, very different types of number 8 in some respects. And you and Peter Steff forming 2/3 of the World Cup final back row. Is there any sort of change in role in terms of the balance of the loose trio?
The three of us have to work together, myself, him, and Peter. And I think that will help a lot. There's not a lot of change. It's not like he's a new guy in the system. He's always been there. He knows exactly what to do, and he knows our strengths and weaknesses. So I'm looking forward to see what he can do. It's an opportunity for him. And we'll definitely miss Dwayne, and we hope he's recovering well. And hopefully we'll be back soon.
Thank you, Sia. Stocker, just from a coaching perspective, you've also had your challenges in connectivity and being together. Have you felt, as a management team, the lift in intensity amongst your playing group when you were all able to get together this week on Monday, the magnitude of the occasion? What has it done to the energy within this group?
Yeah, I think we all understand. I think we have made peace with the fact that we are living in that very, very challenging times, where we know very well that the team that's going to adapt the best, will have a better chance to win the series, So the same challenges that we were facing as a Springbok team, in the other teams out there also facing the same challenges. So that is something that we were up for. We knew that it's going to be a challenge. But once again, after we had all our players back into the squad, getting guys like Sia, Frans Malherbe, Bongi, and those gentlemen, Andre Pollard, when they joined the squad, you can just feel the vibe, you can just feel the energy. It's just totally on another level because of these are the guys that knows what it takes they've been there, some of them. I know some of them haven't played against British Ireland, but these guys are professional enough to understand when to switch on, you know. So that is something that I've, the past probably 5 days that we've enjoyed as coaches because of, if you look at a guy like Sia and having guys like Bongi around Andre Pola, those guys they've got proper head of their shoulders. Very experienced, and they know how to put the team together. So we've been in a good position this week, and we are actually once again excited, I think, to hit the 4 lines tomorrow, you know, and hopefully everything will go according to our plan.
And given the disruptions and the challenges that you've had, how important for you to be able to select the back line, including the return of Makazole Mapimpi on the one wing that started in the Rugby World Cup final? There has to be that level of familiarity there, which will be crucial.
Yeah, the nice thing about Makazole, he doesn't get unfit. He comes from the rural areas. So that gentleman has been working for the rest of his life. So naturally, he's a fit player. And he is missing last week with us. Probably it was set for him. But once again, I know one thing for sure, that he's very professional. He looks after himself. And he's been training well this week. And he knows the plan going into this game, that he's going to have to push all the way for 80 minutes. And I don't doubt at all that he's got what it takes, because of, once again, when it comes to the rural areas, you are naturally fit because of that's your daily life, everything that you do they call it as Lali. So in the rural areas, normally they work. So I'm not worried at all about Makazole's conditioning and fitness. I know one thing for sure, he's going to be up for the challenge tomorrow.
Thank you both. Thank you, Rayo.
Thank you, Matthew Pierce, and we move on and we say good afternoon to Phyllis Sunday.
Thanks, Ryan. Right? There's been quite a lot of talk in the pre-match week from both coaching staffs about how, you know, on different kinds of topics, particularly the one where the tour being moved to the Western Cape gives the Lions a bit of an advantage because they don't have to contend with altitude. Do you guys agree with that? And how much of an advantage is that for the British and Irish Lions not having to contend with any altitude in this game?
Okay, go for it. Obviously, like we said earlier, we are living in a time of uncertainty at the moment, and you know we have to adapt in everything that's happening. Obviously, we would have loved to play as everything was scheduled, but it is what it is right now. But I don't think it gives anyone advantage because we're all training in the same place, and it's all gonna be on Saturday. I think the advantage comes is whose plan is working the most. You know, we've made plans for this, and our plans haven't changed at all. It doesn't matter what we're playing in the world. It is what it is. This is our game plan, and that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna make sure that we put it on the field and make sure that it works against their game plan. So that's all who's gonna win, and it's all about who's obviously fit and who's gonna be able to remain and do that for 80 minutes. That's where the advantage will come. Who is able to adapt and enforce their game plan.
Thank you very much. And our next question will come from Andrew McKenna. Hi, Andrew, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry, apologies. Good afternoon, Sia. In the lead up to the World Cup final, there was a lot of talk about getting a win for the people back in South Africa to raise spirits. Are you having the same kind of conversations this week with all the problems in South Africa at the moment with the unrest and COVID as well?
Yeah. Obviously, our first and foremost thing is to make sure, we're prepared before we can even say that. So our main focus is making sure that everything that we're doing is on par. We're working hard, our fitness levels are there, our plan is there, and obviously with the time like this, I don't know, it always happens that, when we have big tournament or a big series like this, that unfortunately something that is not going well in our country. And obviously we are South Africans before we are Springbok players, and what affects our people affects us as players, and we gonna do everything we can to make sure we focus on the job that we have to do, and make sure that, as Coach Rassi said, in the World Cup, what we do, we're in a place of privilege. We're doing what we love each and every single day, and that we are able to put a smile on someone's face, or we are able to, for a moment in time, let everybody else just forget or put their problems aside and focus on what we're doing. And when we win, they feel like they win too. And no matter how difficult the situation is, that we are always able to pull together, because we've got families, we've got friends, we've got people who are out there who suffered during this time, and we want to make sure that while we still have the privilege to be able to do what we love, that we give it our ultimate best. And we know the people will be behind us, no matter what it is they're going through, and we want to make sure we give it everything, and give it our best on Saturday. And if we're able to put a smile on someone's face, that will obviously make us happy and drive us even more to make sure that we don't give up on that floor, that we give our ultimate everything.
Thank you, Sia.
Your wife will also forgive you for leaving you with 4 kids.
Yeah, one of them, coach, please, she was, it's true, but.
Thank you, guys. And Daniel Schofield, you up next.
Good afternoon. Question for the coach, Mzwandile. In fact, 2 things. The Lions were fairly unhappy with the appointment of Marius Jonker as a TMO, as he's not a neutral TMO. Can I make what you make of that situation, and if the roles were reversed, if a British or Irish TMO was appointed, what your reaction would be? And then the second question was, Warren Gatland said earlier this week that your ego had been dented in the South Africa A game because he said the Lions had superiority at the set piece. So your opinion on those, please.
Yeah, from my side, as a Springbok team, we don't appoint officials. I think that's the job for World Cup. So I wouldn't really go deep into that and say we are happy or unhappy with the officials, because it's not in our hands, But once again, those guys, I know one thing for sure, they're all professional and they all respect their job, And so once again, to us, it doesn't affect us. The main thing is focus on how we want to play the game. So if they've got a problem with that, unfortunately, they can go and have a chat with the World Rugby regarding that. So, and on the other side, the second question about, what was the second question?
The set piece dominance.
Oh, they say that they had our ego. I think from my side, I'm not going to go deep on that one. We were happy as a Springbok team. Once again, if you look at the most important stat in the game, which is the final score, we won the game. So I'm not too sure what is it that intended against us. And I'm not going to fall in that trap where I play the minds game. I'm not a minds game person. So the game is going to be played between the 4 lines. So if Gatland is talking about the egos, he doesn't really know much about us as South Africans. And I'm not going to go deep on that. So let's wait and see tomorrow after the game, and hopefully we can give people a good show of rugby. We know they're going to be tough. We know they're going to be physical. So once again, when it comes to the ego, we'll see the egos between the 4 lines.
Thank you, Stig. Thank you, Neil. And we say good afternoon to Craig Lewis in Petkamp.
Thanks, Ray. Lucia, if I can maybe just follow up on that question. I mean, as Daniel mentioned, there's been quite a bit of talk out of the Lions camp about officiating and the CMO appointment, Russi's role as a water carrier. I mean, has it reached you, that sort of stuff, and maybe quietly been firing you up a little bit before the test match?
Oh, no. Of course, my only job is to play, and my only job is to do what the team is required of me, and my only job is to prepare and see what the Lions are bringing to us, and make sure that I'm ready to play. All the other stuff, that's out of my control. I can't focus on that, and it definitely doesn't get to us as a team. There are people that have those kind of jobs to look after that kind of stuff, so I leave that up to them. But what I can control is when I turn on the field, talk to the ref, and talk to my teammates around me and prepare for the game. I always believe like whatever is supposed to happen on Saturday will happen. So other than that, I don't even get involved in those kind of things because I've got a far bigger job to do on the field.
Thank you very much, Sia. And we say good afternoon to Ashfaq Mohammed.
Hi guys, Sia, Stocker and Ryan. Sia, firstly with the isolation, how did that go and was it a close call in terms of your readiness for this week? And then secondly, to both of you guys, Gatland's Wales team, they played a very tight game in that World Cup semi-final, but looking at the Lions team that was selected for this week, do you expect different tactics from them?
Salam alaikum. Yeah.
Walaikum salam.
Listen, I think, like for me, honestly, I didn't have a lot of symptoms. I was fortunate with that. I didn't have anything at all. I think I was fine by the second day. And so that didn't play a big role in me. I think it was all in the mental thing, just being isolating in the room. But obviously, what helped me the most is that I was still part of the meetings, talking to the teams, I was viewing videos, and I was adding input to the guys that were playing in the game before, talking to Marco, making sure that Marco knows every single role that he needs to know before he gets on Saturday, because that's what we're about. Just because you're not playing, that doesn't mean you are off. The next thing for you to do is to make sure that the next guy around you knows his job, he's prepared as much as he can. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing in our group is the Springboks, and we want to make sure whether you're playing or not that you're actually adding value some way or another. So in that regards, I was fine because I had a lot of things to keep me positive and to keep me active during the time.
Yeah, Ashwaka, going back to your question about how we played against them in the World Cup and what we expect from them, once again, this is not a secret. The way we played against them in the semi-final, it was designed for that game, because we knew what they're going to bring to us. We knew all the challenges, And people, they forget that before that game, the last time we beat Wales before the semi-final, I think it was about 3 years, if not 4 years, So, and then when we did our analysis to look back of whatever the things that we were doing that we needed to work on, So once again, everyone is talking about the kicking game in that game. So that was something that we mainly focused on, knowing that, without giving too much, we wanted to make sure that we're going to stay in that fight, because they are good at what they planned, they are good at executing their plan. So it was our plan also to counter whatever they're going to bring on the table in that game. And yes, one thing for sure that you'll expect a lot of kicking game in this game also. If you look at the influence of the guys that are in that team, the guy like Stuart Rock, who's really, really got a good foot, Bega was also very good. And even the guys that will come off the bench, Conor Murray and Farrell, so those guys, they're gonna challenge us. But once again, I've been saying this throughout the whole week, is that when it comes to playing against the British and Irish Lions, we're gonna have to be at our best in all the departments. We know they've got a good kicking game, and also on a day when you give them space out wide with their outside guys, they'll be dangerous. And also, we can't neglect the physical impact that a guy like Duan will bring in the back line, I think they've selected a strong side physically, but also with pace. So we've got good players also in place. And yeah, as I mentioned earlier on, I think the team that's going to execute their plan very well. I think, and be desperate for 80 minutes, I think that's the team that's going to win tomorrow. And hopefully that will be us.
Thank you, Coach Stocker. And our next question will come from Will Callahan.
Hi, the first one for Mzwandile. Will Razzie be running the water tomorrow? And secondly, for Sia, how confident are you personally that you're match fit, having had that time in isolation and so little rugby for the Boks over the last 20 months or so?
Yes, sir. To keep it short and sweet, Razzie will be running the water tomorrow. That is his role now in the team, to assist Jacques as a head coach. So he will be there and he will be running around, bringing water on the field to the players. And we as a Springbok Rugby, we are happy with that.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. I'm prepared in the training sessions, and yeah, and felt like I hadn't missed training for a couple of days, so I do feel good. But obviously, I do know that if it gets to a place where I'm tired and I can't go anymore, I know my coaches right here. They know me. They know the signs when I'm tired. They'll definitely take me off the field, whether that's early in the first half or in the second half. It doesn't matter. That's just the code and it's what we live by. That's our motto in the team. If you've given everything you can and you just can't anymore, it's someone else that's sitting on the bench can definitely do the same work as you do. And our coaches are very good at noticing that and making those subs in the right time. So yeah, I'm full confident to go as hard as I can and not hold back anything, not save myself, because I know what's waiting in the bench is just gonna turn it up even more.
Thank you, Sia. And we welcome Heinz Schenk. Good afternoon, Heinz.
Thanks, Rayon. Sia, just actually on that, you mentioned going at full tilt, because you obviously have the backup of a bench and that type of thing. I was just wondering, with regards to this whole debate of the Springboks not having a lot of game time under their belts going into this series, there's been a lot of talk that Argentina gave all teams that are underprepared a bit of inspiration last year in that rugby championship, but what they've also mentioned is that obviously they burnt out almost a bit. They didn't win a game again after the rugby championships and stuff. So I was just wondering, there hasn't been any talk, of you guys just like doing this in a measured way. You guys are going to go out full out and not worry about, the consequences that might, come in the later tests and that type of thing. And I suppose also at least most of your squad has played, rugby, not like the Argentinians that came in cold, from the start.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think you answered it there. And also we have depth, we have a lot of guys who can play here, and there are guys who are at home now who can also come back. But our main focus is this first test, and we're gonna do everything in our power to make sure that we win the first test and we give everything to that. And the second one, we worry about that when the final whistle goes. So we're not gonna worry about the future tests, because this is a big series. It's not gonna come another 12 years, and most of us will not get this opportunity again. So we don't have the privilege to be thinking about, we're worrying about the championship or anything like that. Oh, even the second test match, we worry about this first one. And what happens after that, if guys are burning out, someone else will come back, and it's an opportunity for someone else. And that's why we work as hard as we can, and we prepare each other, and we make sure everybody knows what to do. Just in case someone falls out, someone else will just fit in.
Thank you, Sia. And Nathan, next. Nate.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Ray. I've got two questions. One for Purastik, obviously in this course, and then one for Sia in English. Sia, Reynard Alston spoke about roles during the week, and he said he'd probably go on as a 6 or 7. On the other side, the Lions have named 2 open side flankers in the 23, which would give clear signals of a tough breakdown batter from both sides. Dwayne did a good job complimenting you in this department. Now my question is to you, Sia. All coaches spoke about roles. What would your role be for this game?
It hasn't changed. My role has always been the same. Make sure I look after our breakdown, and we've got natural trenches in our team. We have guys that can put their hands in the breakdown, and when the opportunity presents itself, I put my hand in too. But yeah, we have guys in the team that can actually go in the breakdown. Some of them are not the loose forwards, they play in other positions. But my most important thing is to make sure our tackles secure our own breakdown and put pressure on their breakdown too. So, and PT is the same. He's a hard guy. He'll get us forward momentum. He'll make the big tackles, and he's a workhorse. But Sosu can go all day long too. So we all have our roles, and nothing has changed for me. Same role as I played in the World Cup or against Georgia. I've got exactly the same role. I mean, Poacha, he's very good at the breakdown too. So I'm not gonna chase just to try and compete against the opposite number across me to try and get as many players as I can. We've got a system. Stick to the system. If an opportunity presents itself, I'll get in there. But for me, I have to look after our own ball.
Thank you. And question to Stick. Nathan, can you just repeat that, please?
Yes, right. It'll be in this course, so I'll take it at the end after the English questions.
Okay, thank you. We then move on to Sibusiso.
Hi Ray, I've also got a toss-up question at the end.
Sure, thank you.
Okay,
Daniel Gallen, you're up next then.
Yeah, how's it, guys? I read in the build-up that Johan van der Merwe is going to ignore any potential chirps that come his way from the Springboks, and there seems to be a lot of chat about potential Springbok chats. I mean, is that founded in anything? I mean, you guys kind of going about your business. It seems like there's an attempt to kind of turn the heat up when there isn't. I mean, just what's your mood around the mind games leading up to this game?
You clearly haven't had anything from our side, and we've never been that kind of team, and we'll never be that kind of team. We're going about our business, we focus on the game, we don't want to focus on one player, so that definitely doesn't come from our side, so I don't know anything about that, because we haven't came out and said this is what we're going to do, we're going to be champion. No, we don't do that. We save our energy for the work that we need to do.
And you know very well we are good people as South Africans. If it wasn't for the pandemic, we would have surely invited Duan for a drive race.
Thank you, Steve. That would have been interesting. So our last question in English then goes to Ken Boland. Good afternoon, Ken.
Afternoon, Ryan. Thanks very much. Afternoon, Sia and Mzwandile. Mzwandile, if I could just ask you, we've touched on obviously a lot of talk about the Springboks being underdone, but do you feel that because you guys have got such a settled game plan, and it's a game plan that I don't want to call it simplistic, but it's one that everyone seems to understand, do you think that's a bit of that kind of negates all this underdone talk a bit?
I think from my side, first things first, as a coaching staff, I think we are in a good position because of, if you look at the squad that we've got here, probably about 18 players that will play this game started the World Cup final. So it's only Kwaha who was also part of the World Cup squad. And then Oxenche in the match 15 that is starting, Oxenche is the only player who was not with us in the World Cup. So once again, if you're saying we are underdone, we had about more than 3 years with these guys, and there's something that people must make peace with it, is that, listen, as a South African team, you understand, there are certain things that we can't run away from them, they are our strengths. So we can't just go and comment about, for example, All Blacks and say they need to change their style of play when they must sit past the run for too much. That is who they are, that's how they were raised at a young age. So same goes with us. When it comes to the physical side of the game, it is in our DNA, and when it comes to the set pieces, we do take pride in what we do when it comes to that. When there's opportunities for us to play fancy, good running rugby, we need to earn it first. We need to make sure that we get momentum in the game. So once again, we're not going to comment much about what people are saying about our style of playing. And once again, I'm going to say this, if it means it's going to win us the World Cup, we will carry on playing that way. If it means we're going to win the series because of the way we are playing, that is the most important thing to us. After 10 years to 20 years, people will forget how we play the game. Some, they will even forget the final score, but they will remember that the Springboks won the World Cup in 2019. So unfortunately, I'm not going to go deep on our style of play. We are very proud to be South Africans, and we enjoy the way we play rugby.
Thank you, Dick. Thank you very much. And that then concludes our English part of the press conference. We're going to move swiftly over to Nathan. Back to you, Nate. Your question in Xhosa.
Mandicela ngibulise ukhokheli noPlastic. Plastic ngakade ufuna umbuzo ngesports from last week manje kunike ke. Masithi umzekelo uLukhani kwenzakele during game. Sizofaka abantu kwa13 ngiyabona kwi-minute akekho omnye udlala u13 ukwenza njani xa kunje.
Hayi wena khona noko sizilungiselele because of if uyabona emaplangeni khona umfana njengogame Dalini yosoluthenga balance and lamfana indlela adlala ngayo ubaluleke kakhulu indlela esifuna udlala ngayo game system, so udamien utility to vibrate team. singakwazi umove uDialile Simpson ku-13 and then uVilliams yena angena ngaphakathi noba sinengxaki mhlawumbe emaphikweni uVilliams uzakwazi ukukavarisha le position. So yinto nokona lapha i-training sessions during the week esikwazile nokuzilungiselela kolokuqala but umbuzo wakho umhle kakhulu but kodwa ke sawuthemba bawolukanyo doesn't have to be ebaleni because of nokuyambona indoda edlala kakuhle nayo so no silungiselela tata man anything esakwenzeka ebaleni saba ready thina for uba sikwazi uku-adjusta kuleyo lenziwayo.
So ngiyakubona mistake.
Sakufa kanjani wena kodwa uphuma ungumkhwetha we-COVID ungu? Usuke wena. Hayi, ngiyeke. Yabona intwana igezela umuntu ongibhuzi. Iphinde ihambe ihlala phaya e-isolation. Izawubuyela nayo.
Siyabhomeni bafiki.
Siyabhomeni awakhipa. Bakhetha ukutya bakushiya phaya emnyango. Ya gogo.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks, Stocker. Right, then our final question goes to Sisu.
Manibulisa manene nobudorhwala ngiyuthandile nami lo mbuzo ka Nathan kodwa mina ndicela nje amazwi ambalwa kuwe Sokololo ngomfo washiyayo kulo nyapheleyo ngeli xesha leveki actually uzizi xa ucinga xa umkhumbula ubuzawuthi bezawuthini njengoba nilungiselela le mini nkulu yangomso bizawubala also iminyaka eyi-12 beqalile usasaza ngolwimi lesiXhosa SuperSport elolu sivumele sikwazi nathi sibuze le mibuzo siyibuzayo ngolwimi lwethu cela nje amazwi amafutshane ngomkhumbula uzizi.
Umthwalo ndinika wona unzima kakhulu and khawunda mos umuntu ebedonsa bakumsebenzile naye ngoku ndafika eDurban as a player ndafika noko ndadlala against yena ngoba esedlala kwi-Jaguars and yena very close naye nangoku besebenza kwa-SuperSport and wonke umuntu owazi umbhoxo currently eSouth Africa ngesiXhosa will always relate i-rugby neXhosa commentary ngevoice kaKhawundi. Uyipromotile lo Khawundi i-rugby ebantwini where siyazi apha eMzantsi Afrika bekuthiwa i-rugby enjelo yabantu abamhlophe kodwa uKhawundi kangayivumele yonke loo nto yena wakwazi uintroduce isiXhosa apha erugbyini and siyayazi ivoice yakhe sizayikhumbula ishampoma sizayikhumbula ishambisi sizayikhumbula into ezifrafrazayo. I think if I don't know, he's always got something surprising, but yeah, uyakhumbuleka and hopefully le ndawo leli kuyo umphefumulo wakhe uphumule ngoxolo nakusapho lwakhe sithi inkosi ngosiboleka uKhawunda ngelaa xeshana lenqini besinovuya babe sinokhula sonke sibe ngamaxhego because sayazi beninzi into uKhawunda sisafiyenza uyathini ubumini amadoda amaninzi kula comment noko ayayazi indima ayidlalileyo uKhawunda uyabona ukuthi because comment khona amalady nomsebenzi sothome ukomandisa phaya which is into ke uKhawunda ebezama ukuyenza ba irugby mayifikelele ezingutshini abantu mabayive elwimi lenkomo sizamkhumbula kuzizi hopefully amadoda akwazi umenza be-proud ngomso.
Yeah, nami ngifuna nje ukongeza yeah actually nginathanda ungena ku-YouTube ngibuke lezi video zakhe excited and I think for thina abadlalayo ngoku usinike i-meaning yoba mahlale usinike co-tithator akathethi nathi abantu badlale rugby uthetha nathi uthetha ngemvelaphi yethu uthetha ngentlungu nezistruggles ezifeyisileyo ebomini uthetha ngayo yonke into and ukuthi xa umamele uyandazi wazi mna usiya Kolisi lo usuke ezwide nentsokolo yakhe nabazali bakhe Asimuntu nje ondazi ngoku. Uyenze research yakhe naxa ethetha simve thetha siyazidla ngokuxhosa bethu because ixesha elininzi singakwazi uthetha isiXhosa sithethe English eyophukileyo apha abanye bahleka zonke ezo zinto but namhlanje ndiyazidla nje nesiXhosa sam and nabantu abandibukela ngesiXhosa and wenza umsebenzi omkhulu bonke notata umakhaya Jack bonke benza umsebenzi omkhulu ngoba abantu xa besibukele bayasiva basiva ngelwimi labo and siyamkhumbula namhlanje ndifuna ukukuthela ngoba umbuzo lo mbuzo itsho kabuhlungu kum because zange ndacinga ndawuze ndingene ebaleni ndingalivi ilizwi lakhe yabo into azithethayo ngathi nento azithethe ngomakazola zange ezinye zasingazazi nozazi thina yabo iyachaza loo nto le nje bethina siphiphanisha funa udlala sijonge izinto naye wenza umsebenzi wakhe and xa ungena phaa usiva laa nto okanye xa kuphela igame ubethe entliziyweni because uthetha ngawe uthetha ngefemily yakho uthetha ngabantu abaziyo and yeah samkhumbula kakhulu sonke as sithi siyacinela usapho lwakhe siyababulela ngosiboleka ixesha lakhe amsherishe nathi ngoba xa simbona sithi ngowethu sonke ngomzantsi South Africa wonke and andicingi uba siya-understanda umuntu omkhulu ongakanani for thina engekho nguwe nathi xa kudlala sothi make sure uba siyamcinga because ndiyakhumbula ndinxibe isikipha sakhe ndidlala kwi-Western Province yeah sawuhlala simcingane ilegacy yakhe sawuhlala sikherisha on and ndingavuka athathe kule nto ayenzayo nababukeleyo abantu abangakwazi udlala bafuna uba serabhini bayazi uba ithatha ntoni uba kule ndawo kuyo kusasazi ayisikubukela nje irabhi umane uthetha lelenzekayo thetha ngabantu usuka imvelaphi indlela yakhe because loo nto ikhuthaza nyamanye abantu abahleli elokishini angacinga makasoze afike phaa but xa isivo siyakolisa usuka esikolweni siyi-one usuka kwilokishi eyi-one ii-challenges azifeyisileyo kule ndawo akuyo zenziwe intoni napha abantu lapha so no samkhumbula uzizi and yeah inkosi kakhulu ngalo mbuzo bhuti.
Thank you, gentlemen. Then, in conclusion, Coach Stocker, the Blitzboks are present in Tokyo. Just a quick word from your side and the Springboks.
Yeah, I know Neil Powell currently is quarantining. To Neil Powell, Fred Blazer, and Stevie Swabi, who shakes, and the boys and the management and everyone in the Blitzboks team. We just want to wish you guys all the best in South Africa, and we know you guys have been working very, very hard for the past 2 years. And whenever you come to Stellenbosch, it's like your valley. You guys dominate that valley there. So all the best to you, gentlemen. And I know you're up for this challenge. I know you're ready for this challenge. After all the past 2 years, the way you've been working hard, we just want to wish you guys all the best and make sure that you make us proud. And we are actually proud already of what you guys have achieved as a team. So once again, all the best. Arigato gozaimasu.
Thank you very much, both the Springbok captain and assistant coach. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That then conclude our eve of match press conference, and I want to wish you a good day and be safe. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Good luck, guys. Thank you.